Good morning, Health Nuts. Dr. Kevin here. Happy Friday, and today, after getting a few questions from the last video on fish oil, because I said fish oil is tricky. Fish oil is tough. I wasn't even talking about fish oil, but I just mentioned it and got some messages. So I thought, man, I'm gonna pull this right out of my cabinet. I'm gonna deliver some information to you about fish oil. It is tricky because every bottle, there's 1,000 different kinds out there, and people have tested this. Way over 90% of fish oils are junk. You'd be better off not even taking fish oil than taking the junk, because fish are kind of toxic. So watch my last video. And I got into a little bit of that, but I'm not going to get into all that again. They're toxic creatures because of various reasons, mostly the water that they swim in, and depending on what tier of fish, if they're bottom feeders or if they're top of the food chain fish, that matters as well. But we want to make sure, if we're going to be taking fish oil, that we have a trusted company. That's the most important thing, and that's what I was talking about last time, is that, since it's nearly impossible for us to figure out exactly exactly how things like fish oil are sourced, then we better be able to trust the company that's putting the stuff out that we're taking. That's a lot easier. That's a lot easier than to try to get a dozen different products from a dozen different companies and then just hoping, or then doing the research on every single company. How about we get one company that we know cares? We know they care about the people more than the profits. And unfortunately, in the supplement world, that's just not the case for most companies. You're probably better off just not taking their stuff, and that's sad. That's sad because, as consumers, as a lay person that doesn't want to know the science, you want to be healthy, you want to feel good, so you want to just go to the store and grab your stuff. That's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to ensure that you're getting your money's worth, even if they happen to be cheaper products than the good stuff. Are you even getting that money's worth, cheap money's worth? In most cases, you're not, and that's just sad. So we might as well just not be taking anything, right? Really, it's a lot better for you. Some of these products, including fish oil, are actually showing to cause more problems than good if we're just taking the standard stuff off the shelf. So we don't want to do that. We want to be able to trust in a company. But I want to talk about fish oil, and people were asking, like, hey, what kind should I take? Now, I would throw out a couple kinds. So and there's not a brand that I would suggest that you can just buy off of your traditional store shelves. So Innate Choice has a really good fish oil. I know the owner of that company, or have seen him speak in person, and I know his standards. So Innate Choice, you can get that on Amazon. That's a good fish oil. And then the other fish oil, the fish oil that I take, is called Omega Giz, and it's from Young Living. But I just want to talk about why. So you want to make sure it's sourced from the proper places. But then I like supplements that include extras. A lot of supplements include extras, but they're extras that don't actually benefit and possibly even cause harm to your body. They throw in fillers, or it's unnatural. It's things that actually never belong in your body, and they put those into supplements just to fill space or to preserve. And if you're going to include some extras, first, make sure that they're not harmful to the body, and second, make sure that preferably they'd be a benefit to the body. And those are the only extras that I'm interested. I call them extras. They're just, okay, we have fish oil, we have omega-3 fatty acids. If there's anything other than fish oil in there, I want to know that it's doing a good service to my body and not a poor service. And I'd prefer it not to even be neutral. I want it to be a benefit to my body. If I'm going to spend the money on something, I want the whole thing to benefit my body. I don't want to pay for stuff that is not a benefit to my body. It makes sense? Okay, so let me just go through the extras in this Omegagize from Young Living. If you don't know Young Living, you can go to our Facebook page, or you can message me at Beyond Essentials, beyondessentials.com. We'll have, you could look this up if you want to see what I'm talking about, or message me, and we can even get on. I've gotten on the phone with many people over the years, just talking about certain products or about Young Living in particular. So this comes with not just fish oil, but vitamin D. You get about 1,000 IUs of vitamin D in a serving of this stuff. So that's a really good start. That's actually pretty much the daily value that you should be getting. Although as an adult, I like to get around 4,000 to 5,000 minimum of vitamin D, but they recommend 1,000. Vitamin E, obviously the omega-3 fatty acids, the EPA, the DHA, but then the one that's really, really cool is the CoQ10. Some of you may not have even heard of CoQ10. CoQ10 is an antioxidant. Your body produces a little bit of it, but it's really nice to get extras, because as you age, you don't produce as much. It actually goes down. It's kind of like growth hormone. It's not growth hormone, but it's kind of like it, because it goes down. So you want products, you want to eat foods that either allow your body to make more, or you want to supply that extra that you're not making anymore through supplements. So CoQ10, antioxidant. They link diabetes to CoQ10. Actually, CoQ10 is deficient in most people with diabetes, with heart issues, with muscle atrophy issues, with cancer. CoQ10 is extremely important. You're not going to be able to eliminate free radical damage without antioxidants like CoQ10. So it's kind of like a vitamin C, only it works in a different way. It's another antioxidant. And especially as we age, we want as many of these antioxidants as possible. Those with antioxidant deficiencies, Stanford University did a study where they live 35% shorter lives. That's a huge number. 35% shorter lives if they're shown to be deficient in antioxidants. That's because they can't fight off free radical damage. Free radicals are like the things that pretty much destroy cells. I would call them the forcers of the aging process. So if we can eliminate free radicals and eliminate free radical damage, then literally we can, I don't want to say we can add years to our lives, because it's really, we're supposed to live a certain amount of time, and we are taking off years of our lives by not getting what we should be getting in our bodies, like antioxidants. Those with an antioxidant deficiency take 35%, on average, 35% shorter, or they take 35% of their life off. If you're supposed to live to 100, guess how many years that is? You're taking 35 years off of your life simply because of an antioxidant deficiency. So I love the fact that they throw in CoQ10. They don't have to. This is what I love about Young Living. They don't have to throw in CoQ10. They could just have the fish oil in here, and probably just as many people would buy it. But they throw in these extras that they know your body requires, especially as you age. And then they, for absorption purposes and for added health and cognitive function, which CoQ10 definitely aids in cognitive function. Cognitive decline is associated with the decline in CoQ10. So you're thinking dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. But then they add in a specific essential oil blend, clove, German chamomile, and spearmint. That's for absorption purposes, and that's for added cognitive benefits. I love this. I just love this. That's why I take this. But if you're going for straight fish oil, then as I mentioned, Innate Choice, you can get that on Amazon. This is my choice, Omegagize. And I hope that helps. I hope that answers some of your questions. Again, if you don't know the problems associated with fish oil, I just went through a few issues on the last video when we were talking about how it's so important to have one company we can trust rather than trying to get a dozen products or 5 products from 5 different companies. It's very hit and miss, and most supplements on the market today are junk because they don't have to be good. They just have to sell. You know, if they sell, you got to understand, like most people taking fish oil, it helps a lot of people with symptoms noticeably, but it's really meant to just support health and wellness. So when I take this, it's not like, oh man, I feel so much better. No, it's I take it because I know my body needs it. And without it, over the course of time, over a course of years, you know, of course I would gradually decline without omega-3 fatty acids. But it's not like I notice as soon as I take those pills, like, holy moly, I feel so much better. No, like, that's why supplements, the supplement industry is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty corrupt, because companies can put out crap and nobody asks any questions. So I want one company I can trust, and it's Young Living for me. And if you're looking for fish oil, which I feel like every kid needs, but definitely adults, Omega Jazz is probably the best out there. So have an awesome Friday, people, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.